At church, we always put a basket of black oak acorns on the altar. It reminds us of the Indians who live here, that this is their land, and they never gave it up. The Indians who live here are the Nisenan. The acorns are one of their traditional foods. We put the basket on our altar as a symbol of our promise to support the Nisenan.
I used to be embarrassed by my easy tears. Now I feel proud of them because now I see that a tender heart really is a superpower. Right, Love League? My compassion allows me to feel what another person is feeling, to connect deeply and to transcend the bounds of my own experience. And it spurs me to action. Wait. This sounds like a description of the Love League members. From a whole separate body, she can feel what another is feeling. Without ropes, crazy glue, or duct tape, she can make true connections. With his tender heart, he is able to transcend the bounds of his own experience. Using only compassion to power them, they leap into action. They are pretty marvelous, aren't they? By the end of our time together today, I hope we'll have some more recruits for the Love League. Because all you need as your superpower is a tender heart. The Reverend Scott Taylor wrote, "Often we think of choosing our social justice or social service commitments, but isn't there also a sense in which they choose us? For instance, we're reading the paper and suddenly a story breaks our heart. We didn't choose that. It happened to us. It called to us. Something clicked, and we found ourselves being lured to expand our concern, our love. Somehow we didn't just feel called to serve needs greater than our own. No. Suddenly we experienced those needs and pain of others as our own. That's it. The superpower of a tender heart."
Good morning. This is the Red Bubble Letters, written by Misha Sanders. My sister had just taught me how to make bubble letters, which I thought would surely impress all of my friends. So, before all the other children arrived, I drew and meticulously colored in big, wobbly red bubble letters, "God is love," on the green chalkboard in my kindergarten Sunday school classroom. Not long into class, after all the children had arrived and pretty much ignored my artistry, one of my all-time favorite teachers picked up an eraser and began to wipe over the dusty old board, much to my dismay. But I was even more dismayed that my artistic creation did not seem to be fading despite her vigorous attempt. Mysterious? Miraculous? Perhaps. Turns out that red chalk that was, in my defense, on the chalk tray was actually a stumpy little red crayon. The tears started, as I recall, right about the time friends began whispering that she's in trouble. She's definitely in trouble. I was mortified. I was as mortified as a 6-year-old could get. I think we need the Love League.
I know. We'll melt the teacher's heart with love.
I was mortified, that is, only until that beautiful, wise Sunday school teacher scooped me into her arms in a clear moment of amazing grace. I heard her deep alto laugh in my ear, and she says, "Oh, no one is in trouble. Don't you see, dear children? This is just perfect. What can erase God's love? Nothing." She ended the warm hug with a squeeze and then gleefully picked up a piece of white chalk and began quickly writing around my unintentionally semi-permanent crayon art all the things that we could think to yell out that might make us feel unlovable in the eyes of God. Lying, cheating in school, cussing, hitting your brother, cutting in line for the slide, and chewing gum in church. It was a lot for a kid, those conservative religious rules in the 70s. But then, with dramatic flourish, she again picked up the dusty eraser and wiped it all away, leaving only God is love. God is love. In big, wobbly, red bubble letters. It is my only memory of a lesson from kindergarten Sunday school class. And maybe it's the only one that counts.
This morning, rather than having our usual bowl of water, symbolizing how this community holds one another, and stones, symbolizing the joys and sorrows we are carrying up front, you will find it in the foyer, where you're welcome to drop in a stone at any time during the service or afterward, and some of you have already done so. Our own Reverend Kevin did a rewriting of the 23rd Psalm. I'm going to share that with you as a prayer, but first, the Love League is going to be spreading some love around the room in the form of chocolate hearts. If you'd like, and or your grown-up says that it's okay, I invite you to take one and let it melt in your mouth as you listen to the prayer. Studies have shown that the compound phenylethyl, easy for me to say, phenylethylamine, that is sometimes called the love drug, that is found in chocolate, causes the brain to release the same pleasure-producing chemicals that are released in our brains when we experience love. So, as the chocolate melts in your mouth, imagine that the reaction you are feeling is love flooding through your body. May I remember in this tender moment that love is my guide always, shepherding me toward ways of openness and compassion. I have what I need, really, with love at my side, above me, below me, in front of me, behind me, inside every cell of me, love infused everywhere. Just when the weight of the world I inhabit threatens to drop me in place and press my hope down into the ground beneath me, love invites me to rest for a gentle while and leads the center of my soul to the quiet, still, restoring waters nearby that somehow I had not noticed. And so love, quietly, sets me once again on its tender and demanding path. Even when the walls close around me and the cries of death echo through untold corners, gripping my heart with fear and sadness, I know that all will be well, that I will be well when love whispers near to me, glints at the corner of my eye, rests with gentle and persistent invitation upon my shoulders. Yes, love blesses me, even as the sources and symbols of my pain look on. Love blesses me from its infinite well, and I turn and notice that goodness and kindness and grace follow me everywhere, everywhere I go. I live in a house of love, love that will not let me go. I live in a house of love and always will. If you are carrying someone in your heart this morning, someone who could use a message of love, I invite you to speak their name into the room, or for those on Zoom, to type it into the chat.
Elizabeth.
We're going to sing a simple song. We'll sing it twice through all together, and then 3 times through as a round, with this side starting first and then that side beginning.
Jesus was a teacher long ago of love and compassion. When Jesus spoke to his followers, it was often about how to share more, love more, and forgive more. Jesus also talked a lot about the great unfolding mystery called love. He called it God, the way many other people do. Sometimes Jesus' followers needed help to understand his teachings, so he told stories to help them understand. We call those parables. This is one of the parables that Jesus told his followers. It's about a shepherd. Could someone tell me what a shepherd is? Okay. A shepherd is someone who cares for sheep, who makes sure their bellies are full and they're safe from predators, because a lot of critters would hurt sheep if they could. Now, in the days when Jesus told his story, a shepherd wouldn't have had a fancy pen or corral for her sheep. There was no fence to create a big space for her flock. Instead, she would have had to take her sheep out into the hills to fill their bellies. Now, in this parable, the shepherd didn't have just 1 or 4 or 10 sheep. She had 100 sheep. Can you imagine how loud and smelly it would be if there were 100 sheep here in our sanctuary? Well, whew, okay, all right. Okay, so at the beginning of each day, the shepherd took all 100 sheep to the hills of green grass and counted to make sure they were all there. At the end of the day, she brought them home again, counting to make sure that all 100 sheep had come home. The shepherd came home one night, counted her sheep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 42, 56, 78, 79, 96, 7, 98, 99. And saw only 99 instead of 100. She counted again to make sure, and then again. Oh no, imagine that one little sheep out in the wilderness alone. Can you feel it in your heart? I think we need the rest of the Love League. And even though it was cold and dark, and there were critters in the hills that might hurt a shepherd too, she left the 99 sheep who were safe at home and went out to find the lost sheep who was in danger. Good luck, Love League. When Jesus told his parable to his followers, he was trying to tell them 2 things. First, that the great unfolding mystery that we call love, and that some call God, loves each of us so much that love will always, always go to those who are left behind or in danger. Second, we understand ourselves to be part of the great unfolding mystery called. Most of us who are Unitarian Universalists want to be like that great unfolding mystery. We want to be love's partner and its helper. That means we are the shepherd. When everyone else is safe, we're called to notice the few who are in danger and to go out in the cold and the dark and be with them. Love doesn't rest and wait. Love, in the form of the shepherd, leaves comfort behind to be a helper.
If you feel the love here on Sundays, wouldn't you like to know that our love is with you on other days? I think we can find a way to take some of that with us if you'll play along. I think maybe we need the Love League for help us out. So let's do that. I invite those of you in the room to stand as you are willing and able, and maybe make a little more room by stepping into the aisles or moving up front or spreading out a little bit. Those of you on Zoom who want to play along, please turn on your cameras so you can see each other. Okay, now, where do you keep your love? Find it in the little places that you kind of pack it together. Make a little ball out of that. Get that whole bunch of it all together in one spot. Okay, you're making like a nice little, I don't know, a pillow of love. All right, are you ready for this? In a second, we're gonna toss our love way up high. And we're gonna share that with others. And then we're going to get ready to catch one of those balls that someone else has thrown, and as it comes down, right? So you're going to toss and then you're going to catch. And don't worry, because love is not pie. It won't smash in your face. And there's always enough to go around, right? We can't just slice it up and have it be gone. There's always enough. Okay. Are you ready? I'm going to toss that love way up high. Okay, and now find some to catch. All right. You got it? Now nestle it in someplace safe where you'll have it to take home with you. We UUs are called on to create beloved community. What is that exactly? The website for the 8th principle of Unitarian Universalism offers this succinct definition that I like very much. Beloved community happens when people of diverse racial, ethnic, educational, class, gender, abilities, sexual orientations, backgrounds, and identities come together in an interdependent relationship of love, mutual respect, and care that seeks to realize justice within the community and in the broader world. In our efforts to do so, we try to model beloved community here and work to extend that into the world. Each week, we have an opportunity to offer our monetary support not only to the workings of UUCM, but also to a local nonprofit that reflects our values. 25% of our offering this month will support Community Beyond Violence, whose mission is to offer resources for building healthy relationships and to work with community partners to provide services for healing the effects of interpersonal violence. For those of you in the room, if you would like 100% of your contribution to go to Community Beyond Violence, please put your donation in the white envelope in the basket. And please see the slide for additional ways to give.
Your generosity remains essential to our ability to sustain the work of our community. There are several ways to contribute. You may text an amount to 833-579-0483, give via our website at uugrassvalley.org, via PayPal at paypal.me/UUCM, or mail to UUCM 246 South Church Street, Grass Valley, California, 95945. Thank you.
Thank you for your generosity. We dedicate these offerings to the beautiful ideal of beloved community, stitched together with respect and, you guessed it, I think we need the Love League again. So again, you have a line in this reading. It is, no one is outside the circle of love. You got it, guys?
No one is outside the circle of love.
Of love.
No one. No one.
Okay, I think we're ready. We who are Unitarian Universalist not only affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person, we also affirm the inherent wholeness of every being, despite apparent brokenness. No one is outside the circle of love. We know that things break or break down. Promises, friendships, sobriety, hope, communication. This breaking happens because our human hearts and our very institutions are frail and imperfect. We make mistakes. Life is messy. No one is outside the circle of love. With compassion as our guide, we seek the well-being of all people. We seek to dismantle systems of oppression that undermine our collective humanity. We believe that we're here to guide one another toward love. No one is outside the circle of love. No matter how fractured we are, or once were, we can make whole people of ourselves. We are whole at our core because of the great, unnameable, sometimes inconceivable love in which we live. No one is outside the circle of love. Thank you. Many thank yous this morning to Ramon and Mags on video and the Love League here, Randy McKeon, Beth Caro, and Scotty Hart.
We're available for parties.
Thank you for your willingness to be goofy in front of people. Thank you to Tracy for that wonderful reading, to Steve and Bob and Cypress at the back working their AV miracles, to Reverend Kevin Tarsa for the video editing before he left on sabbatical, and for that beautiful prayer that he wrote. To George Dunstan on the production crew, for our greeters, Corey Silva and Laura Harder and Jean Gilligan as well. To Beth Rose and Michael Bankston and Magdalene and Susan for refreshments after the service, to Joe Waters upstairs in the Kids Connection, and to Corey Silva for being back there with Joys and Sorrows. And to our UUCM staff that make this all happen, particularly big thanks to Carol Fulkerson, who found all of those wonderful images of superheroes in love for our slides, above and beyond. To Toby, thank you, not only for your piano, but for that very well played kazoo. Yes. To Siobhan for her tech support, and to Aiden McCarthy upstairs as our Kids Connection teacher. A few announcements. The Stop the Mine meeting will be happening today in the sanctuary at 12 o'clock, featuring our speaker, Charlie Brock, who may or may not be sitting right here, right now. It's also available on Zoom. So please join us for that. UU 101 is also being offered today at 12 p.m. Anyone wanting to learn more about UUCM or have a refresher course is invited to join in. And mark your calendars, the National Unitarian Universalist Association's Good Trouble Congregation celebration, which, among others, will honor this congregation's multiple efforts for getting out the vote, is going to be on Tuesday, February 28th, actually beginning at 3:30 p.m. You can attend here in person or online. And finally, always check our website, uugrassvalley.org, to learn about upcoming services and events and so much more. It's a very rich space. And now, will you rise in body and or spirit once again join us in singing Love Will Guide Us, number 131. Our closing words this morning come from Rochelle Lamb. May you fall madly in love this year, in love with someone who unhinges your tired trajectory, in love with a spouse of several years who might be aching for lightning, in love with demanding children and crazy relatives, in love with the particular pedigree of genius insanity that has perhaps claimed you in spite of your reluctance. Looking at you, Love League. And certainly in love with an animal, a cloud, a redwood, the wild. These at least once a day. May you fall in love with this fragile jewel of a world, with hard work, real learning, just causes, petitioning, and prayers. May you fall in love with wonder itself, with the grand mystery, with all that feeds you in order that you may live, and with the responsibility that that confers. May you fall in love with heartbreak and seeing how it's stitched into everything. May you fall in love with the natural order of things and with tears, tenderness, and humility. May this be a magnificent year for you. May you fall deeply, madly, hopelessly, inextinguishably in love. And may we remember the Love League's example of the superpower of a tender heart as we carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. If you are here in the building, please join us for refreshments down the hall. And everyone, we will see you next Sunday for What's Love Got to Do with It with Reverend Janet Ani.